And we're back. This is Brimstone.
The Un also rises.
Yep, and we are playing more Legacy of Ys. And we're going to talk to this guy and... Pickards!
A somewhat recent addition to the series, but a welcome one.
Oh yeah. Cute, lovable, edible animals and look like Hamtaros.
Yeah, they really do.
Yeah, they made it really cute in this version.
I would have a difficult time eating that.
Oddly enough, they're actually a monster in the overworld.
Oh, there's a name that actually gives Slock some competition.
Oh yeah.
Elder Ghoul.
Elder Goulash. And just doing a little trek, talking to Dr. Bluto. So now we get to go talk to Slaw again. After we talk all the villagers, we go see him, and this actually advances the story.
No further questions.
Yeah, kind of reckless, aren't we? Obviously, he doesn't know Adol too much.
Clearly
Yes.
not.
Yes. And we have our... That's not very smart. It's dangerous to go alone. Take this.
And that's pretty much exactly what he's gonna do, isn't it?
Yeah. If you notice, there isn't any shops here, which means, yeah. So pretty much, Adol's playing a Mulder and has to find the truth, because the truth is out there.
I stand, I face out, I hold out, I reach out to the truth. Okay, I heard that enough times playing Persona 4.
Oh, and then your pop culture references. And here we go. Take this.
Doo-doo-doo-doo.
And we get the short sword. Yes, consider it a parting gift. Sorry that you couldn't win the, bonus round. And of course,
You'll also get a copy of the Barbado home game.
and let's go ahead and equip that. And pretty much ever since this game, Ys 1 and 2, you kind of start off with the short sword. It becomes like Adol's bread and butter weapon for most, all the other Ys games. Makes you wonder if that's the same sword, in every game.
Certainly be a well-traveled piece of equipment.
Well, most warriors tend to, keep their own personalized gear.
God, how many shipwrecks would that mean the sword had been through?
Yeah, I know. Apparently it's describing this divine providence, which is pretty much the staple of this game. Adol just crashes on, some unknown place at the right time and, go stop the evil thing from occurring. In fact, Ys 6, there's a big joke about that. There's this one guy you talk to, he's just like, man, you got shipwrecked, that's horrible, and then you talk to him again, it's like, you say this isn't your first time? Well, sucks to be you. Something to that effect. So, okay, I did a little quick save there, and so let's go visit Ceramonea as it's told.
Time for a little the old ultraviolence.
Oh yes, finally get to kill things. And our first enemies are Ents. And you probably already know the big difference between this game and all other Ys games, well, at least for 1 and 2. We actually have an attack button.
Technology moves on, I suppose.
Yeah. Yeah, the attacking system plays a lot like Ys 5, except we don't have a jump button. But we do get to run.
Guessing I probably wouldn't miss the jump button too much.
Oh, yeah. Now, what I'm playing with is the control scheme without the D-pad, or the touchscreen. You can play a more standard Ys, bump and go kart, and but it's kind of very awkward.
Was that an instant heal you just picked up?
Yeah. In the later games, they gave us enemies would drop herbs on occasion, and you can go pick them up and get a quick boost of health.
Yeah, I remember those cropping up in 6.
Yeah.
That's why I figured it was probably the same thing here. And I see we still splatter enemies all over the landscape, the way Adol's been doing in some of the more recent games.
Yep. And what's kind of interesting though is this is a North American version, which means this is probably the first time you get to see blood and splatter in the American version of the game.
Well, E6.
Well, no, remember E6, you hit the enemy, but they would disappear. They wouldn't splatter.
Well, they left at least bloodstains. I remember that much.
Oh yeah, you're right.
Can't remember if there was much of a giblet effect, but it's been a while since I played that.
And here's Manea, and if you notice, it's a huge city now. It's like a walled fortress. Yeah, unfortunately, we have more people to talk to. I'm afraid this is another town segment.
Oh well, we got to slake our bloodlust briefly at least.
Yeah. Well, like most Ys games, the story needs to be told. And here's Pim, our, favorite sleazy pawn shark.
No, he always looks sleazy, but it's always a different kind of flavor of sleazy.
Yeah, I know. And again, he comes about red hair, and apparently he's a foreigner too from Hysteria, and yes, we have to stick together, don't we? Wink, wink, nudge, nudge, say no more. Yeah, he's a sleazeball, but he's a lovable sleazeball.
And a useful sleazeball, so there's that.
Yeah. And note what Hans is just saying here. I believe when you played this, there was a part where if you bought a ring, you go see this guy named Adonis in the bar.
Mm-hmm.
He just gave us a hint about it. Normally, you just you wouldn't know about it per se, but he just went off and said that Pim picked up this ring. And then when you talk to Adonis, he mentioned something about it too. He lost his ring and blah blah blah.
Right.
And here is Lair, known as Rhea in this version of the game. You see to change up the translations from time to time.
Yeah, a lot of times when you're dealing with names that don't have, an obvious romanization, if there's more than one, localization, you'll see it done a couple ways like that.
Well, it also hurts the fact that, Lair and Rhea, how they mix up the R and L, and that was Dr. Krauss's shop there, which you kind of bypassed in your playthrough. You can buy herbs there or get healing.
Yeah, that's actually another good example of the multiple romanization phenomenon, because here he's Dr. Krauss. In the Turbo version, he was Dr. Klaus, I believe it was.
Yeah.
And in the Master System version, he was Dr. Craze.
I love that name, too. Dr. Craze.
Yeah, it gives him kind of a mad scientist vibe.
Yes, he reminds. Yeah, it definitely reminds me of like maybe he's a cousin of Doctor Weird, you know. Gentlemen, behold, I made this thing. Yeah.
And this boss of Bangor, he sounds like some kind of super badass, but he's just an NPC.
Yeah. Anyway, we'll stop here. We'll see you guys later.
Till then.